everything that you've just said about perception is in line with quantum theory and the observer effect of electrons existing as waves, but when there's a conscious observer, they exist as particles. So we are, in effect, through our perception, creating material reality.
I wish we had some physicists in this.
Well,
in this
it's beautiful
group.
because I have a very scientific mind. My mind wants to validate everything you're saying scientifically, and it can be, and we're getting there. And my mind is stuck on something that I'm hoping perhaps we can discuss. And so scientists are saying that our observable universe is about 14 billion years old. And the Earth has existed for about 4.5 billion years. And human beings and human consciousness in its current form has been here for perhaps 2 million years. I think part of the reason that we were talking about before, our society is so stuck on this material reality and that consciousness being an epiphenomenon of the brain, is we are under the assumption that all of this material reality was evolving and manifesting for 14 billion years before there were conscious observers to perceive it.
And what's the evidence for that?
Well, I'm not that good of a scientist.
But you don't have to be a very good scientist to know that there is no evidence for that. You ask one of these scientists, this stuff called matter, which has existed for, how long is it, 14 billion years, out of which this stuff called consciousness, which has existed for what, 2 million years?
Perhaps.
So what is their experience of this stuff called matter prior to the appearance of consciousness?
Well,
there is none.
Therein lies my question, really, if I can just halt right there, because it gets to where I just need to understand this.
Okay.
What was it? What was the Earth before we were here to observe it?
Infinite being. The pure dimensionless being. The act of perception brings the world out of potential as infinite being into apparently finite existence. And every time perception ceases, the finite world dissolves again into infinite being. The next act of perception brings it out of infinite being into apparently finite existence.
So
isn't that a much more satisfying model? and one that is in line with our experience.
Right.
We can say, yes, that is our experience. Why don't these scientists apply their scientific method to their experience?
Some are.
That's true.
Yes.
Some are. Yes.
So here's something that I'm thinking then. As a species, we kind of are on the brink of extinguishing ourselves. And there's a lot of this talk, even amongst spiritual circles, of, oh, that's just the body-mind. But when I see that what the extraordinary beauty that human perception is creating, I think of how fundamentally important we are. And that, everyone would say, oh, the Earth will be better off without us. We're a cancer. We're creating the Earth. We are the Earth. We are the universe, in a sense.
Am I on? It could be that human beings are on the verge of destroying themselves, but it could also be that the old forms are being destroyed.
Yes.
Our understanding, because the forms of society, of our culture, develop to accommodate our understanding. And until recently, the forms in which our society was structured accommodated our understanding reasonably well. Although there were always a little eruptions that tried to break the form, but the form would then coalesce again. Now we've got to a stage where understanding has expanded beyond the forms that were designed to accommodate it. So the understanding is literally breaking the shell that it has created, because the understanding is expanding. And therefore the old forms have to be destroyed in order to make new forms that are larger and that can accommodate our new understanding. So, are human beings destroying themselves, or are they destroying old forms which are now too small to accommodate their understanding, in order to enable new forms to evolve that will more accurately contain and express and accommodate our new understanding? I don't know. Time will tell.
Thank you.